Hi, how are you? Um, Welcome back to What's Shaking Billy G. It is a Sunday, a warmish Sunday in Austin, Texas. I don't know if you can tell, looking a little flush. And it's been, again, another hot minute since I've taken a recording, which is the same thing I said last time. And I think the same thing I said before then. Interestingly, uh, the last time I had a video of any length on here, it was to create a 100-day challenge of doing something every day for this channel. I don't know, inverse psychology. So it's been something that's on the back of my head, and I was getting kind of weighed down, I think, of um, what I'm trying to do in this space. And I didn't even journal, even though Shushma and I had that great chat. And I started the journal and I was like on day 4, and then I stopped and I thought, you know what? This is life, man. Like, you take a 100-day challenge, and if you don't do it, start again. It's okay. Um, I think some of the times we make goals for ourselves, we kind of forget that we have infinite challenges. And as long, I'm going to say this for myself, um, to sort of step back and take a pause, even if it's like not on purpose, I think is totally human. And the question is, well, what do you do about that? And anyhow, I was inspired to start this recording. And if you'll notice, look, I have a tripod and I have a microphone. So it's not like I haven't done nothing. I have done things, and I'm so excited because I'm getting tech to work in my favor. Um, I saw a video this morning that was really inspiring about slow dopamine versus fast dopamine. Dopamine, I can speak, dopamine. And and it was exactly like, that's it. And the focus of that video, which I will absolutely link below, was in reducing screen time and talking through what fast dopamine gives you, as well as how to get your slow dopamine working. And that was from a neuroscientist. I'm not even going to pretend like I can sort of summarize. So please watch it. It's 20 minutes, totally worth it. Um, but I felt instantly inspired to turn off the TV and get chatting to you guys. And I'm gonna take you gardening with me as I reminisce a little bit about all that's been happening, not just since the last time we spoke, but what are the changes happening since I started this channel? Because it is non-zero. So yeah, let's get into it. So welcome to my first container garden. I set this up a few months ago, and I had looked up what companion planting was. So this, in my sort of grand scheme of things, was something that I wanted to do in terms of building out my garden. And this is a nice cross between something that I wanted to do for my home and maybe get back into nature and get out from in front of screens, and then maybe have some healthy fruits so that I can just like go direct from my garden into my home. So here's what worked and here's what didn't. These tomato plants went absolutely bonkers. They were so stinking happy, and I forgot to put the supports in place when I planted them. So both plants, that's a cherry tomato over there, and this is something bigger over here, but they just went absolutely gangbusters. They grew over the edge and all the way up. And over the past week, there's a bunch of dead foliage here, but it's still growing. Um, so that's, sort of a combination of well and not. These lavenders, this dwarf peach tree, I looked up some companion plants, and the peach likes the lavender, but the lavender is not very happy here. You can see sort of close to the bottom, it's sort of gray. And I found out that, like, in addition to drainage, it really likes poor growing conditions. So that one's not so happy. I had some regular marigolds that just died instantly, and I just got a few French marigolds and I just tested them and they seem to be pretty happy in this space. And then the basil, whatever. It's looking pretty good. The one back here, which is getting less sun, is not as happy as the one up here, which just also went gangbusters. I did let it go to seed, but that's okay. And so some of the things that I learned about here is I went back and I looked at the rules for container gardening and companion plants, and it actually said do not put tomatoes next to peaches because it will bring in some pests that will eat the leaves. And sure enough, you can see uh, there have been some pests sort of coming in here. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to move these lavenders, which don't appear to be very happy. I'm going to, even though it's mid-season and probably a bad idea, I'm going to take these tomatoes and transplant them to separate pots a little bit further away, but I know they like this part of the garden. So I'm going to see if I can do it. It's just going to be a little experiment. I'm going to trim back the basil to see if I can get it a little bit bushier again. And then I got some I have another set of French marigolds. I have some alliums, which is another fancy way of saying like onion flowers. And I've been watching a few gardening shows and like, oh, they're really beautiful. And then I got some comfrey, and these are just like balking, and I don't know how it's gonna go, but comfrey is supposed to be really good for like a peach guild. So this is the garden work that I'm gonna do while I chat, and then I'm probably gonna do some trimming. So that's my gardening stuff as we chat today. I don't know if you garden, but if you do, I would love to hear about your successes and your failures and what you're doing and what you're learning. This is absolutely a new skill for me. So again, lots of mistakes to be had, but in the spirit of growing. All right. So hello again. This is the first time we're recording like with tripod, and I'm over here, so I'm sort of hoping that the mic will work well. And I'm also noticing that like I've not removed the label from my glove, so yay me. Okay, so here's what's been happening in my world. So let's see, the things, my goals. So weight has been an ongoing set of goals. I think I've said I started at 281 pounds, and over the last few weeks I've been under 160, so that is 120 pound weight loss. And I know you can see like lots of loose skin. My legs are honestly like curtains. And I do have an apron. So I am having some, I got a referral to a plastic surgeon to see if I can get skin removal and what that means. So I'm feeling like, even though I'm not sort of California skinny, and I use that term specifically because I grew up as a California kid, and I would say like, I don't know, somewhere between size 4 and size 6. Yo, that is not gonna happen for me, and I don't want it to. But the nice thing is I am feeling really comfortable and happy with my size and my body. So this is, it's a really nice feeling. Like I would absolutely like to continue to work to get fitter and to do some work to, oh, there's a big branch there. Okay. Do some work to make sure that do some weight training so that my muscles are stronger, but size-wise, I think I'm kind of happy. Like I'm sort of 10 to 12-ish, and thinking that's size 10 to 12-ish. I hope you knew what I meant. And hoping that once the skin is gone, it might be sort of closer to a 10 and I'll feel a little bit more stable. So that's a plus. And so that continues to truck. So top of mind goal, check. I'm feeling really happy about that. And the one place to sort of continue working is on my weight resistance. And I've also had to go to physical therapy at my knees. I don't know if you can see my knees. Woo! I'm taped up because my knees got a little bit weak. And so I'm going to physical therapy because they started buckling on me. And I was kind of scared and freaked out that I would have to have like my knee replacements redone. And so I got it checked out and they're like, nope, no. You like knee replacement, like surgery on knee replacements is a really, really major thing. So they're like, how does physical therapy sound? And I said, it sounds great. So I've been going for the last few weeks and doing some strength training exercise. And I was even thinking of reworking my 100-day goal to work towards something called a pistol squat, which was when you stand on one leg, like stand on one leg, and then you squat down and you stand up. How badass would that be? So there's physical stuff. Then, what else is there? Reading has been so stinking hard. And so here's where I am with that. So I have a few books on the go. One is Women Who Run with Wolves. Another one is Dungeon Digger Carl, like a sort of RPG game. And I got to chapter 2, and then I haven't touched it for a little while. And I am going to start it again from the beginning, and hopefully have a go. So that should be like a fun, stress-free kind of read. Something where I could just be like, yeah, it's I don't have to concentrate on learning. I can just have a little bit of a good time. And then Psychology of Money, I got 80% of the way, but I've been doing it. So like, okay, so let's jump to finance. So finance has been going great. So between body and finance, I mean goals, is so pleased because I now have a routine that is totally sticks, which is I have all the things that get put into 401k before I ever see it. I've got my HSA plans in motion, never see it. I've got my 401k, but then also I am also putting a certain amount of money into a high yield savings account with every paycheck, and I've dialed in my paycheck so that it goes in automatically. And then I also have money that goes into an E-Trade account. So I'm also investing in ETFs on the regular. So that's body doing well, fitness doing well, reading, got a redo, channel, another redo, and then the other stuff was social and hobbies. Okay, so connecting and connections. So connecting connections a little bit, that's what this channel hopefully is all about. So I've already sort of said like what's been happening here. It's been a little challenging, and I haven't really done anything, but as of this morning, I got my tripod out for the first time and we are chatting. So this is all like scorecard. It's, yeah, redo, starting class again. But in-person connecting, I have connected with a few friends that I used to work with, and one that has got me into some role-playing games, which is super fun. And I've like always wanted to do like a little bit of voiceover and voice acting and being creative and doing like a little bit of improv. And so it's nice to have sort of reconnected with this person where I can create a character. And not that we've done it yet, but just reconnecting with them has got my creative juices going. They introduced me to Dungeon Crawler Carl as a book, and then I've also been watching Critical Role, which is on the one hand kind of fast but kind of slow. So it's not like the really it's not like a YouTube short. It's following these long campaign stories of what happens to characters and watching them act things out and watching them sort of ask like what are the sort of questions they can ask and how do they step into that character. If you're interested in anything like that, the channel is called Critical Role, and there are campaigns that go on for like a year or two. But the cool thing about it is that the people that are playing out these campaigns, and each episode is legit like hours long, but you can break them up. So it's an hours long episode as they play per week. It's on YouTube, it's free, you can join the channel. But they are professional voice actors. And so to see them doing improv on the fly and to see how they use character discussions to move the story forward is so fascinating and so creative. So I've been getting into that. And then hobbies, other connecting. So I've also been getting out of the house to meet up with those friends, which has been really nice. But the other thing that's been happening is Steve and I have been sort of exploring Austin. And so there was sort of a decision we made earlier on in the year of, do we move? You know, we were sort of looking, do we move to another country? We were looking at Denmark, which we love. We were looking at Seattle, which might be a place closer. And we decided that we're in a pretty special part of the world here in Austin. And so we said, yeah, we're going to stay. So as part of staying, we've been investing in our house. And we've also been checking out things like listening rooms in Austin and sort of getting in our community. So, so Steve and I have been sort of taking advantage of what Austin has to offer. So for all those things, let's see. We've got physical in nature. Something's happening there. I'm learning about gardening, learning about singing, learning about character development. So even though I haven't been here on this channel, there's been a lot happening. And I suppose if I reframe it that way, I can feel pretty good about, you know, what's been happening this year so far. It's been a lot. So so that's my like general update. Super interested to see if like, are you doing anything similar? If so, how's it going? But now what I really want to get into is what's different about all that. Like that's all the stuff I've been doing, but what's changed as a result of it? Okay, outcomes. Let's talk about outcomes. So yeah, in the last few months, I've been trying a bunch of stuff. I've been super imperfect. I've still been lazy, but I keep just going back and trying it again and giving myself a restart and giving myself some grace. And the result is I've been calmer. I've been calmer at work. Like days have been super long, super crazy, but I feel like I'm a little bit more on even keel. I feel like I've got some more agency. I'm in more control of my emotions. I've been sleeping better. I've been able to stay on routine when it comes to my physical health as well as my financial health. So I sort of stuck with this routine. A few things like eating out more often has been squeaking back in, but we haven't been door dashing. And we still haven't like gone back, and we're still eating really simply. So the net result is 6 months. I am both seeing and feeling some really amazing changes. We've been able to like come out, pick some figs, pick some basil, pick a few tomatoes. They're like super teeny tiny. Like this morning we got like 4 teeny tiny ones, smaller than the tip of my finger, but like we grew them. And so here's, wanted to show you the outcome for today. Again, a bit of an experiment, but I trimmed the basil way back, took it back to like, hopefully there's some new growth. And this one had already bolted, so it's definitely an experiment. I'm not sure what's gonna happen there. But I got these French marigolds in. They seem to be really happy here. The other ones were getting fried. I planted in some alliums, got 3 of them on the other side. And then I've planted some comfrey around the edge. They were just some rootstocks, so we'll see what's happened. And then I gave everything a fresh blanket of mulch. Over here, I've probably killed these tomatoes, but they're on their own. They're in their own pots for the moment. They seem sort of happy with this amount of sun. Like they just absolutely went crazy before. So I'm sort of hoping that, you know, with some of this new growth, it's August, maybe there's going to be a little bit of stuff coming in. There's some powdery stuff here that can't possibly be good. You know what? I'm just going to leave it and sort of see what happens. And then inside, these are the cherries. So that was my heirloom. These are my cherry tomatoes. So this one still has a bunch of growth. And again, I like trimmed it way back because it was just kind of going everywhere. So I'm hoping that this will allow it to put just a little bit more energy into the next set of tomatoes. And then over here, I've got some dwarf mulberry bushes. So these came in, this one was practically dead, but it is coming back a little bit. That one's doing well. So I gave it some extra soil. Some of the rain had washed it away, and gave it some more mulch. Over here we have some citronella. It seems to be helping with mosquitoes. Yay, awesome. My other raised bed over here has some blueberries, has some peas. This is the state of the marigolds. Like they're just not like that one's happy. This one's got a little bit more shade, but I put some in with the French marigolds, some pink lemonade, blueberries, and then over here, maypop tree. So yeah, that is gardening results and Billy results from the last 6 months since when I started all this. So whew, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're finding joy. I hope you are seeking out some slow dopamine, and please check out that video, Fast and Slow Dopamine, from the neuroscientist who I don't even know his name, but I will be checking out his channel and probably watching that video again. It was so great. So here we go, in search of slow dopamine. Have a great week, guys, or month. Who knows? Who knows when I'll be back, but hopefully soon. Bye.